Today's date is Wednesday, April the 30th, 2025. Uh, we're just recollecting the travel from coming back and going to Toronto and then heading to Japan. It was a 75-hour travel, but it all started on October the 13th, which was our rest day, that we decided to go to the Madonna de Gisello to be able to give thanks, and I wanted to go say a prayer for my mom. I knew I had to go to the Madonna de Gisello because I needed to go and pay my respects to my mom. And I also knew that it was an important place to go because it's a very historical place for cyclists. It's the church of the cyclist. It's a sad place because a lot of the people that are on the church have passed away, from young children to elderly cyclists, male and female, to a lot of pros, and mainly a lot of pros. And that church has also blessed, the Virgin there has blessed a lot of cyclists, and they've asked for her help, for them to do better in their races or to be safe. And cyclists have donated their bikes, and from Francesco Moser to Coppi, Gino Bartali, including Lance Armstrong. They all had bikes that they've donated to the church. We went up there, said thanks, looked at the beautiful church, and it's a pretty special place to be able to go up there. And it's always a little bit hard to get there, but this time was a little bit easier. It was almost like we were being guided. We stopped halfway to be able to have a coffee and talk with my two colleagues, Julian and Tony. And from up there, we just went up. We saw a bunch of cyclists going up, and we were all able to see the lake below the Madonna de Gisello. I'm not sure if that's Lago di Como, but it's a beautiful little lake at the bottom. And then we went back to Milan, ended up in downtown Milan at the castle where they started Milan San Remo, just looked at some architecture, and then we decided to go back to Pavia to be able to have dinner and walk around the little town. And then we went back, packed up, and had a long talk, reminiscing about all those days that we were in Milan. And then Julian had to go back, we had to go back, and we went to sleep, got up early, did a quick clean of the bed and breakfast that we had rented at Airbnb, if you want to call that, and decided to go to Malpensa because Julian had to catch his flight back. So that must have been around 11 o'clock. Julian's flight, I think, was around noon. So we must have left like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, and that's when everything started. 9:30 in the morning, out of Certosa de Pavia, straight to Malpensa. Grabbed a little snack along the way, and then Julian had to run. And then Tony and I, we thought, okay, we have 6+ hours before we got to catch our flight. Let's go back to Milan and go visit some friends at the courier office. Um, and then when we got to the entrance of the trains, they had canceled all the trains because there was some strike or demonstration that was affecting the train lines. In the last 48 hours, even going towards Lago di Como, there was disruptions because of new train lines that people were not happy about. So we talked it out with Tony. Okay, let's go and take the bus and then come back on the bus. We checked the lines on the bus. Just to get on the line of the bus, maybe was an hour and a half to get on a bus. And we just said, you know what, let's just get something to eat. Let's just burn some time and wait until the next flight. We caught the flight at 7:30 to land in Amsterdam at 9:30. All throughout this whole time, my friend Sonder was supposed to be our host. This guy hadn't been answering in days. So I reached out to our other friends, Fish, and Fish linked me up with Ur, and Ur said, Nadir, just show up to my father's house, which is near Vondel Park, and my father said that you guys can spend as long as you want, right? And I'm like, no, I just need 15 hours. We gotta go back. It was like the cheapest flight. We gotta go back to Toronto and catch another flight to Tokyo. So we got there, 9:30, made it to near Vondel Park. Ur gave us the directions, the trains to take. He found us, brought us to his father's place, which I know quite well, and we just talked and walked and talked about the old times. You're still a messenger in Amsterdam, and he's like a real cycling legend, especially in our messenger culture, and such a amazing person and so kind-hearted. His family, him and his mother. So I always go when I'm in Amsterdam. I visit his mother and his father because they've been so kind to me throughout the years. And it's like being with my mother. And then we had to go to sleep, which was like 3-4 o'clock in the morning after we couldn't stop talking. And it's like being young schoolboys for the first time going on a sleepover, and you're just talking and talking and talking, it's nice to feel that feeling. Then we had to catch a flight at 5:30, I believe, from Amsterdam back to Toronto, which I believe was 8 hours 30 minutes flight. and then we were be getting into Toronto around 7:30, 8:30 at night. We basically got into Toronto. I got home around 9:30, got on my bike, came straight to the bike shop, grabbed my pass for the bullet train in Tokyo, went home, slept for 3 hours, took a shower, and went straight to the airport. And it was just like go, 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 go. And then next minute we're in Tokyo having sushi, eating at the side of the river with my old friends. And that is part of, I guess, our episode 2, from the 13th all the way to the 17th with the Madonna de Gisello, Pavia, Milan, then from Milan, Amsterdam, back to Toronto, Toronto to Tokyo, and then the real fun begins in Japan.